Here, Mother Nature can really put a damper on your life when bad weather strikes, but having the proper flood insurance can protect you from paying big time when the rain keeps falling. Sean has more.
So let's face it, the weather pattern has definitely changed from previous seasons, and whether anyone mentions it, someone always blames it on El Nino. Someone says El Nino, but what exactly is El Nino? And how can you protect your property from unexpected inclement weather? Well, here to tell us is a man who stood in many torrential downpour, the Weather Channel's Jim Cantor. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Doing very well.
El Nino, yeah, it's all of a sudden now we've got Godzilla, El Nino. Every storm is being blamed on El Nino. And I mean, think of it like this, Sean. A baseball team has 9 players on the field, right? Mm-hmm. Not just one of those players contributes to the end result of the game every night. Usually it's a multitude of the players. And that's kind of how it works in weather. It's just El Nino happens to be the superstar, at least right now. And El Nino's hitting the best, hitting for high average, hitting for heavy rain. And what we're going to watch with El Nino are situations like we saw in December in the nation's midsection with very, very heavy rain. Just last week we started seeing the rain come into Southern California, and every El Nino is different. Yeah. They're not, what we had in 97, 98 is not going to be what we're going to have in 2015 and 2016. And we're still, quite frankly, learning the nuances of El Nino. So how each one of them is different.
Exactly how does El Nino work? Is it something that's happening over the Pacific that causes this extra moisture?
Yes, it's the warming of the Pacific waters off of South America. Can extend out obviously several thousand miles. And what it does is kind of juice up the jet stream a little bit. Now you've got these warm waters. All that warm moisture gets into the jet stream. The jet stream moves faster to try and equalize it. And all of a sudden you wind up with severe thunderstorm outbreaks in Florida or across the southern states. You wind up with floods in the nation's midsection. Yeah. You wind up with heavy rain in Southern California. And you wind up with dry weather, if you will, over the Midwest. Yeah. That's a typical El Nino. But there are, again, like I said, there's tweaks in every one of these El Ninos.
No question. You mentioned Southern California, obviously in a major drought. Here in Nevada, we've been in a major drought as well. Obviously, when you go from major drought to torrential downpours, there's really no place for the water to go but across, not down, because the ground is a little harder than usual. How is it going to affect us here in Southern Nevada? Do you see a pattern coming? Or?
Well, I mean, we've already had a lot of storminess. We've already had some great snow for northern Arizona. It's obviously a little bit colder too. The trough's been situated in the west. I mean, I think I can expect a continuation of stormy weather in southern parts of Nevada and in northern Arizona, southern California, northern New Mexico as well. I don't think that's going to change. I mean, I really think that we are not done with this El Nino. We're probably not halfway through with it. Yes, it as a signal will wane as we work our way into the spring, but the attributes of it, the heavy rain, the wind, the heavy snow in the mountains, I think will continue right into spring.
Absolutely, and we've seen our fair share of pretty bad flooding here in Southern Nevada. What safety precautions could we take as individuals to be able to protect our property and ourselves?
I mean, the first thing people need to realize is that their homeowner's insurance policy does not cover flooding. Okay, looking at Las Vegas, you have 735 households as of 2015. 7,000 of them, that's all, have insurance. And okay, wow. You live in a high desert, that's not something that you typically get. But you guys are prone to flash flooding, especially during monsoon season. And the water gets pooled up in the mountains to the northwest of Vegas and comes rushing down sometimes into the city. So that's a huge deal. So if you're in that area where the water comes out of the mountains, you're in a flood risk. And as long as the earth warms, it can hold more water vapor and we can get heavier downpours. And we're actually seeing this trend in different parts of the world, especially over the last 30 years. So the average cost of a policy is $490. First thing we want you to do is go on floodsmart.gov, assess your flood risk, call your insurance agent. Even though you can't get that as a part of your homeowner's policy, they can help you attain that insurance policy. Excellent. And 30 days later, once you get it, it will go into effect. Awesome. So don't do it when I'm standing in the streets of Las Vegas saying, hey, it's going to flood. We're highly confident in this forecast. Here it comes. Because by the time you do it at the end of the day, you still have to wait 30 days before it kicks in.
When Jim is in your town, it's too late. It's great having you, buddy.
Exactly. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you so much. Know your risk to protect yourself in case the unimaginable happens. You can learn more about your flood risk and the necessity of flood insurance by going to floodsmart.gov.